and welcome to the Times of India. You're watching Global Pulse with me, Neha Khanna. It is well established that Pakistan's biggest and most important export is terrorism. Every single terrorist attack in India bears an unmistakable imprint of the neighbouring terror state. As India has said for many years and decades now, terrorism is an instrument of state policy for Pakistan. And now it seems Pakistani politicians have decided to wear it as a badge of honour. Chaudhry Anwarul Haq, who laughably called himself the Prime Minister of Pakistan Occupied Kashmir till recently, has now said that his country had a direct role in the 10th November Red Fort car blast in Delhi. The explosion left 15 people dead and many others injured. Anwarul Haq told the Pakistan Occupied Kashmir Assembly, and I quote, "I said earlier, if you, India, keep bleeding Baluchistan, we will hit you. From the Red Fort to the forests of Kashmir. By the grace of Allah, we've done it, our brave men have done it, and they're still unable to count the bodies."
और रिकॉर्ड ने ये बात सुनी तारीख ने कि मैंने ये कहा कश्मीर हाउस में बैठ के कि अगर नहीं बाज आओगे बलूचिस्तान को ब्लीड करने से तो लाल किले से लेकर कश्मीर के जंगलों तक तुम्हें घुस के मारेंगे। और अल्लाह के फजल करम से इस गुनाहगार के लफ्जों की अल्लाह पाक ने हुर्मत रखी। चंद दिनों बाद हमारी मुसल्लह अफवाज ने, हमारे शाहीनों ने अंदर घुस के मारा और ऐसा मारा आज तक त्यारों की गिनती पूरी नहीं हुई।
Anwarul Haq was referring to the Pahalgam terror attack in April and the November 10 Delhi car blast. His statement comes soon after Pakistan's Defence Minister Khwaja Asif's warning that Islamabad cannot ignore the possibility of an all-out war with India and that the country needs to be on full alert. He said India cannot be trusted and that Pakistan has been put on maximum alert for any border incursion. Why did Anwarul Haq make a reference to Baluchistan? Pakistan has repeatedly accused India of fomenting unrest in its restive Baluchistan province, a tactic New Delhi says is used to divert attention from Islamabad-supported cross-border terrorist activities. India has always denied any role in the violence in Baluchistan. But here is what is significant. India's intelligence agencies have linked the car that was detonated outside the Red Fort, a Hyundai i20 stuffed with ammonium nitrate fuel oil, and the terrorist cell behind the plot to the Jaish-e-Mohammed, one of several terrorist groups based in Pakistan and backed, trained and funded by the Pakistan Army and spy agency, the ISI. Officials investigating the Delhi blast have said that the 10-member terror cell, which has come to be known as the Doctors Module, as it involved several doctors, was set up by an Islamic cleric from Jammu and Kashmir's Shopian, Maulvi Irfan Ahmad, with direct links to the Jaish-e-Mohammed. He reportedly arranged meetings with JEM terrorists. Ahmad and a Pakistan-based terror operative, Omar bin Khattab, alias Hanjullah, were the cell's handlers, according to reports. Ahmad identified and indoctrinated doctors from the Al-Falah Medical College in Haryana's Faridabad, including Dr. Omar Mohammed, the suicide bomber. The remaining members of the cell, including Ahmad, have been arrested. In fact, some reports even suggest that Jaish-e-Mohammed has issued calls for donations to fund more Fedayeen attacks on India. Money has been sought from people in the remote Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province where the JEM is located. Intelligence sources say clues unearthed during the investigation into the Red Fort blast suggest that Jaish leaders have called for fundraising via digital means, including a Pakistani app. Reports say the terror group may be preparing women for another attack. The Jaish has a women's wing. Its leader Masood Azhar's sister Sadia has been reportedly tasked with leading that unit, which was set up after Operation Sindoor, India's military response to the Pahalgam attack, wiped out Jaish-e-Mohammed camps in Bahawalpur in Pakistan. One of the key suspects in the Red Fort blast, Dr. Shahina Saeed, whose codenamed was allegedly Madam Surgeon, and who may have been responsible for financing the attack, is believed to be a member of that very unit. Multiple intelligence reports also suggest an alarming escalation in Pakistan-backed terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir. There are indications that major groups like the Jaish and Lashkar-e-Taiba, both based in Pakistan, may be mobilizing support and recruiting for a new wave of coordinated strikes. Both Jaish and Lashkar are prominent terrorist groups that are financed and supported by the Pakistan Army and the deep state. The Pahalgam terror attack carried out in the month of April was traced back to an offshoot of Lashkar, and the Delhi car blast has links to the Jaish. These two terror groups have been responsible for multiple terror attacks in India over the years. Founded by UN-designated terrorist Masood Azhar, the Jaish was targeted by the Indian military after the February 2019 Pulwama attack in which 40 soldiers were killed, and the Pahalgam attack in April this year in which 26 people, mostly civilians, were shot dead. In the first instance, airstrikes neutralized the group's training bases in Pakistan's Balakot, and in the second case, on the 7th of May this year, India launched Operation Sindoor. Its missiles destroyed the Jaish's headquarters in Bahawalpur. Masood Azhar said then that 10 members of his family, including his brother-in-law Yusuf Azhar, were killed in that strike on Bahawalpur. Since then, the group has begun rebuilding with financial and logistical support from the Pakistan deep state. The question is, how should India respond to the continuing provocations from its terror-exporting neighbour? The government and the armed forces have repeatedly stated that Operation Sindoor is not over. It has simply been paused. India made it categorically clear that with Operation Sindoor, it launched a new doctrine on fighting terror. As per that doctrine, every terror attack perpetrated on Indian soil would be seen as an act of war and invite strong action, and no distinction would be made any longer between state and non-state actors. What are India's options in the aftermath of the Delhi car blast, and how worrying is the situation for the security forces in Jammu and Kashmir as Pakistan-based terror outfits regroup, recruit and raise funds possibly for a new wave of attacks?